You're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready too. We gotta get your face painted up because that tree doesn't have a lot of coverage. All right, you got that, but we'll put some paint on there just as
Chinese hunter, guys.
just as extra. And did you wash your hair with this scent?
Yes, I did. Except I'm crazy right now.
Yeah. He's ready to roll, y'all. Very first solo bow hunt by himself.
With his own bow.
13 years old.
You have to be like, sir, my mommy, she just died. And I would like to live my life right here without no harm. So please, just leave me alone. And then you slam the door on his face and say goodbye. Alright? Alright. Oh boy.
I don't even know how to make that noise.
Excuse me, I need to talk to your parents, little girl.
Did you just call me a little girl? Do you want to hear my real voice?
Hey, how's it going?
You look like Little Red Riding Hood in that.
Do you?
With your pretty hair.
How about Little Red Riding Man?
Ready to go.
Josh is going to his own stand tonight, so wish him luck. It's his very first bow hunt. And I'm headed back to my climber that I left here last week. Fingers crossed. We come back with some horns. See you later.
I haven't hit that today. Scrape on this roof.
The only poison I've had is ivy. The only man I fear is God. No snakes can make me run now, 'cause I've been bit by a moth. No bug can stare me down. No neighbor can shut me up. I'm off the grid and I'm off my rocker. I'm off in the holler sun. We them holler boys. Holler if you needed something done. Holler if you need a chip on shoulder and a hand with a loaded gun. We'll
in through here, y'all. So I have a stand up here. Alright guys, I'm going to try to explain this real quick. I'm not the steadiest with this camera yet. I definitely need improvement, so I hope y'all can interpret what I'm throwing out. But yeah, I just want to explain what I'm doing here because I started trying to kind of whisper and explain it, and you really can't hear what I'm saying. But yeah, let me explain this real quick. So this area I'm standing in right now, it's not accessible by a road or any good trails. So you really got to work your way into these woods slowly. In front of me right here, let me stop real quick. All right, that's the edge of this wood patch that I'm standing in. And if I was to go about 100 yards east there, then I would be in the buck bedding area. Right here is the swamp, and this is behind me. This is where my wind's going. I'm not concerned about this. This is what I want it to be doing, but I had to work myself around to the back of these woods to avoid my wind or noise screwing up this buck bedding area that I'm hunting. As I work my way east, this is going to open up a lot more and have bigger hardwoods than all of this little brush. But what these bucks are doing is they're working their way out of their bedding area a few times a day. They're hitting the scrapes that they have in here in this wood patch, and they're hitting their rubs, maybe munching on a couple quick snacks. This isn't their main food source back here, but there is definitely a few little sources. And then they're going and laying right back down. I'm trying to catch them getting up, hitting their rubs, hitting their scrapes. So I have a climber, but it's really not in my favor to walk to where my climber is. And so I'm just trying to strategize whether or not I want to get in my climber, move my climber, or possibly go to a really good stand that I haven't sat in a while that's just a little bit further east. Ultimately, that's what I end up doing. I just want to throw out one more thing too before I stop this voiceover. This buck bedding area, if you guys can just see, they've got everything they need without leaving far, you know, from where their comfort zone is. Not easily accessible to others, and, you know, it's a good distance away from the doe bedding area. But yeah, look at that chubby squirrel. Oh my God, he was so fat, y'all. Look at him. I don't know. I wish I was like steadier with the camera. I'm really not. I'm not. I need to practice or maybe get a better camera for sure. This camera is like 5 years old. These rub lines through here, they go literally from east to west, the entire stretch of these woods. It's not the biggest patch of woods. I would say it's probably about 300 yards in length, and then maybe 60 yards in width from north to south.
The wind is in my face. I snuck in from the back of the stand, and I feel really good about it. I have a pretty good amount of shooting space and nice lanes. This is really normally one of my bow spots, but the wind just wasn't good for me, and I actually think I figured something out where I've been messing up, so I'll tell you all about that later.
What I'm talking about here is that a while back, whenever I was on my way in, I actually discovered that there was buck bedding area further to the east in the direction that I was walking in through. And so what this did was it forced me to find another route, which I went on my maps and I did. I figured out a way to get in here without going through there. So I think it's going to have a lot better outcomes from here on out. Hunting is all about trial and error and learning the behaviors of these animals. So I think it's really great that I found that. And I'm hoping for, some horns to come out of that discovery.
I turned the camera on because I had the prettiest owl just swoop down. He flew through here. Oh my god.
I crack myself up. I'm trying to tell y'all right here that I just had a huge owl that swooped down like right in front of me. I could feel the wind blow past my face, and his wingspan was huge. But yeah, we're still waiting, guys. Still waiting. I was hoping you guys would be able to hear it in the camera, but I've got some otters behind me that are splashing and rolling around in the water. They're so cute. Stuff like that makes me feel like my hunt was successful, even if I didn't get to harvest the deer that I'm hunting. You know what I mean? It's special. We get to see things that others probably never will see in the wild. Ignore the faces that I'm making while looking through these binoculars. I just want to say my looks is the last thing I'm thinking of while I'm sitting in the wood. I'm hearing some racket like on the other side of the wood line that's to the north of me. This is what I described earlier on. That's the buck bedding area. So I'm starting to wonder if something's about to come out. I know there's a squirrel directly in front of me, but this isn't what I'm hearing. So I cross my fingers and hope for the best. my butt's going numb here. Other hunters, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
So excited to see what was on my camera. I gotta pull the SIM card on my way out. Don't know if I can see through my scope right now. I'm good. Y'all, he said that was not him that shot. That shot was so close. That's crazy. I'll see y'all soon.
It's a full moon. I barely even need this light.